So today's topic of discussion will be focused on, are you addicted to a difficult life? In this segment, I want to explore a powerful yet overlooked concept, being addicted to struggle, or what I call being a struggleaholic. You see, many of us, without realizing it, have developed a habit of making our lives harder than they need to be. And it's not because we want to suffer, no one consciously chooses that, but because deep down, we've come to believe that life has to be hard for it to be meaningful. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like no matter how hard you work, you're always swimming upstream? That no matter how much effort you put in, life throws you another curveball? If this resonates, it might be because you've unknowingly developed an addiction to difficulty. I know this sounds crazy. Who would be addicted to a difficult life, right? But it happens more than you think. Many of us were raised with the belief that anything worth having only comes through immense struggle and sacrifice. We were told that if we're not working hard, we're being lazy. And sure, there's value in effort. But what if I told you that working smarter, not harder, is the key to breaking free from the cycle of struggle? I've seen this pattern countless times, both in my own life and in the lives of people I coach. Let me share a personal story. I grew up in a blue-collar family, where working hard was ingrained in me from a young age. My parents always emphasized that nothing comes easy and you have to grind for everything. And I did. I worked long hours, took on multiple jobs, and always chose the most challenging path because, in my mind, that's how you earn success. But over time, I realized something. There were people around me achieving more with less effort. They weren't struggling like I was. And it wasn't because they were smarter or more talented, it was because they were making different choices. They weren't addicted to the idea that life had to be a constant uphill battle. Number 1, understanding the cycle of struggle. So, why do we get stuck in this cycle of struggle? Well, part of it is psychological. When you face adversity and come out on the other side, it gives you a sense of accomplishment. That struggle becomes a badge of honor. You think to yourself, I made it through all that, look at how strong I am. And while that's true, there's a fine line between facing challenges and becoming attached to them. Think about it, when we choose the hardest way to do things, we're reinforcing the belief that life has to be tough. We start to associate progress with pain. But that's not how it has to be. I want to challenge you to start identifying areas in your life where you might be choosing unnecessary difficulty. It could be something small, like trying to do everything yourself instead of asking for help. Or maybe it's something bigger, like staying in a job or relationship that no longer serves you because you believe that enduring the hardship will eventually pay off. The truth is, you don't have to stay stuck in struggle just to prove you're worthy of success. Number 2, breaking free from the struggle addiction. One of the first steps to breaking free from the addiction to struggle is recognizing it. Awareness is key. Start by asking yourself, what areas of my life feel unnecessarily hard? Is it your career? Your finances? Your relationships? Once you identify these areas, ask yourself, am I making things harder than they need to be? For example, when I started my first business, I was a one-man show. I did everything myself, from marketing to sales to customer service. I thought this was the only way to succeed, but in reality, I was burning myself out. It wasn't until I hired my first employee that I realized how much easier things could be. Delegating didn't make me lazy, it made me more efficient. Another example comes from a coaching client of mine. She had spent years in a toxic work environment because she believed that success meant toughing it out. She thought that leaving would be a sign of weakness. But once she finally made the decision to walk away, she found a job that not only paid her more but also brought her joy. The struggle she'd clung to for so long was completely unnecessary. Number 3, redefining success. Here's another crucial point. We need to redefine what success looks like. For so many of us, success is tied to how much we've endured. We think the more we struggle, the more worthy we are of achieving our goals. But real success isn't about how much you suffer, it's about how well you can navigate challenges without getting stuck in them. It's about flow, not friction. I'm not saying that challenges won't come your way. Life is full of them. But instead of making every challenge harder than it needs to be, we can learn to navigate them with ease. It's about finding the balance between effort and efficiency. It's about learning to work smart, not hard. Think about the most successful people you know. Are they constantly struggling? Or do they seem to have a sense of ease and flow about them? Chances are, they've mastered the art of working smarter, not harder. They don't waste energy on unnecessary battles. Instead, they focus on the things that matter most and let go of the rest. Number 4. Shifting from a survival mindset to a growth mindset. Another key to overcoming the addiction to difficulty is shifting from a survival mindset to a growth mindset. When you're stuck in survival mode, everything feels like a battle. You're constantly on edge, waiting for the next crisis to hit. You're focused on getting through the day rather than thriving. But when you embrace a growth mindset, you see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. You start to look for ways to grow from every experience, rather than just enduring it. This shift in perspective can make all the difference. Let me give you an example. When I was struggling to build my business, I used to view every setback as a personal failure. I beat myself up and think, why is this so hard? Why can't I catch a break? But when I shifted to a growth mindset, I started to see those setbacks as lessons. Each challenge became an opportunity to learn, improve, and ultimately grow. This mindset shift transformed the way I approached both my business and my life. Number 5. Practical tips to break free from the addiction to difficulty. So how do we break free from the addiction to a difficult life? Here are a few practical tips. Identify your patterns. Start paying attention to the areas in your life where you tend to make things harder than they need to be. Are you constantly choosing the hardest path? Are you avoiding help or support because you feel like you need to do everything on your own? Challenge your beliefs. Once you've identified your patterns, challenge the beliefs that are keeping you stuck. Do you believe that life has to be hard to be meaningful? Do you equate struggle with success? If so, it's time to reframe those beliefs. Embrace ease. Start looking for ways to make your life easier. This doesn't mean being lazy or avoiding hard work, it means being strategic about where you focus your energy. Look for opportunities to delegate, streamline, and simplify. Focus on growth. Shift from a survival mindset to a growth mindset. Instead of seeing challenges as roadblocks, view them as opportunities for growth. Embrace the lessons that come with each experience and use them to propel yourself forward. Celebrate small wins. Breaking free from the addiction to difficulty won't happen overnight. It's a process. So, celebrate the small wins along the way. Each time you choose ease over struggle, acknowledge it. Over time, these small shifts will add up to a big transformation. In conclusion, if you decide to choose a life of ease and flow, I want to leave you with this thought: life doesn't have to be a constant struggle. Yes, challenges will come your way, but they don't have to define you. You have the power to choose ease, to work smarter, and to create a life that flows. It's not about avoiding hard work, it's about being strategic in where you invest your energy. So, the next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, ask yourself, am I making this harder than it needs to be? And if the answer is yes, take a step back, reframe your perspective, and choose a different path. You don't have to be addicted to a difficult life. You can break free, and when you do, you'll find that success comes with much less struggle than you ever imagined. That concludes our video for today, and Dr. Powerhouse and Associates would like to thank you for watching. See you in the next one.